What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video for the Lord of the Rings LCG. Hope you guys are having some fun and success against the new encounter, A Feast for Trolls, and that you're not currently being turned into giant troll turds. I know I've been really enjoying throwing my best decks up against it to see how they fare, and it's definitely a hard nut to crack, but it's time to get serious. For this video I want to revisit the quest on challenge difficulty and see if I can get a perfect 550 score while we still have the current score system. The deck I'm going to be running with is one called Soggy Valoragorn. I will explain, but a while back I created a deck called Valoragorn, which was all about getting the card Enduring Valor down on Aragorn for some really good action value. Aragorn has an ability that allows him to perform 2 actions. Whenever an action is performed, he becomes exhausted, and this card gives him guard when he becomes exhausted. So essentially he gets 2 guard actions for free with this card. To go along with that, we also have Raven Winghelm to help him soak up the damage from his guarding actions, as well as Ranger's Blade to give him more damage output when he gets attacked. Now the original deck was a double lore deck. I've actually cut one of the lore heroes in favour of the spirit hero Glorfindel. Now one of the things we lost in doing that was the card Daughter of the Nimrodel, which was quite good because Aragorn's taking so much damage over the course of the adventure. We need to make sure that he can stay alive with healing. Now, to replace Daughter of the Nimrodel, we luckily have Imladris Minstrel, which does a fine job here in keeping our Dunedain King alive. As well as her, we have a single copy of Lembas and a single copy of Imladris Caregiver, a single copy of Self-Preservation, and 2 copies of Beorn's Hospitality, which is really important for that restore 4 health to a hero. That can really help keep Aragorn alive if he does take on too much damage. So what do we get with Spirit? Well, first of all, Spirit is the reason why his deck's called Soggy Valoragorn. Spirit is blue. Blue is often associated with water. Water is wet, hence I know it's terrible, I couldn't help myself. But anyway, what does Spirit get us? Well, Glorfindel himself is really good for threat reduction. Now, before filming this video, he did take a big nerf stick to the face. Unfortunately, his ability has changed around a little bit, so I've had to sort of account for that. Originally, he said if you finish a round and he hasn't taken any damage, you lose 1 threat. Now it's swapped over, so if he takes damage, he loses 1 threat. So we have to account for this, and luckily we are running a fairly good healing deck here, so we can sort of keep him alive while also making sure that enemies can get a hit on him to reduce our threat, or to stagnate our threat, so that we have a lot of time to perhaps delay on a location and try and get all of our combo pieces going, especially getting Aragorn's kit out, as well as our healing machine functioning smoothly. With him though, we also get Galadriel's Handmaiden, who's a really nice 2 willpower statted ally for 1 cost, and also drops our threat by 1. That's a lot of benefit for 1 resource. And Starbreach, and that's it. That's all we need from Spirit. Apart from this, we have some really good early game protection from Forest Snare that can help us to lock down a really nasty enemy, so we don't have to worry about taking too much damage, as well as Guard of the Citadel, which will hopefully allow us to attract the damage from certain enemies away from our heroes. And another noteworthy thing here is we are running some card draw. Miss Randy's advice to help us dig into our deck as quickly as possible, and Erebor Record Keeper if we need him. Gandalf is here as well as usual, but not necessarily for his threat reduction option. He's also really good for the draw 3 cards. Now generally Glorfindel will lock down our threat meter, so we can use Gandalf for his other 2 options. I think that's just about it. Now I will warn you, this deck is kind of janky. It's not the most optimal list, but it is fun to play. So if you have a better list or a more optimal list that you think is good for this quest, feel free to share it down in the comments below for people who maybe are looking for something a bit easier to use. Hopefully me completing it with this janky quest will sort of show that you can beat this quest with some janky decks. But that covers it pretty much. Let's get into it.
The lands between the Misty Mountains and the having helped the Bjornings in several dangerous matters.
If by life or death I can save you, I will.
Alright, now this deck is one that does really like to have a good opening hand. There are a couple of cards we really want to see. Stuff like Enduring Valor and Ranger's Blade and Ravenwing Helm. Unfortunately we don't see any of those here. Guard of the Citadel is a nice card for this opening location, so we might keep that one. I'll get rid of everything else for now. Fair enough. At least we do have Mithrandir's advice to draw into our deck, and we have both copies of our Ladris Minstrel, which is quite nice, but we just have to be careful about when we play those. Now for my first action, I'm not going to play Guard of the Citadel because this guy will just kill it straight away. I'd rather get 2 actions out of Guard of the Citadel so we can block 2 of these enemies. So what I might do for my first action here will be just to use Yarwolf to kill this guy. Got 4 enemies to attack, so yep, he attacks first, and we get Guard of the Citadel out there. And he's automatically on guard, so it'll probably force this guy to attack, yep. And then he can sacrifice himself for the greater good by blocking, hopefully, this guy? Nah, okay. That's okay, because we can use our second Guard of the Citadel now.
I serve the steward of Gondor.
So we'll let him just sit there until something else comes out on the board in case there's a nasty enemy I'd like to block against. It's really quite important to get this hazard cleared out as soon as possible, because it can gain you a lot of threat if you're not careful. Now with the current situation we'd only gain 1 threat because this is the only enemy that's not wounded, but you know, if he starts playing more enemies, then that can really hurt. So I'm gonna get Arwen to clear that. Okay. Gonna have Glorfindel kill that guy. One thing that's good to do, because of Glorfindel's change in ability, it's been flipped essentially. It's a good idea to block with him every now and then so that you do get the threat reduction side of the ability. But he's already taken damage, so we don't need to worry about that too much. Okay, apologies for that. No doubt if you notice a bit of a skip there, it's because I had someone come to the door. I had to answer it. So, where was I? Now I've got two options with this current board state. I can either attack with Aragorn into the Goblin Warlord and use the Guard of the Citadel to finish him off, or I can try spend my 1 remaining resource to ready Aragorn up for another attack, or I can do that and have resource for Mithrandir's advice. Obviously Sauron still has 3 resources left, so we don't know what's going to happen there. So I think what the safest bet to do here is to just attack there, because that way at least everything's wounded for now.
What do we have here?
That is a bummer. So I think what we'll do is we'll just have Guard of the Citadel block.
Stick ya.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm just going to ready up Aragorn because I'd rather clear the board out a bit.
He cannot stand
That'll do.
alone.
Okay, so we gain no threat, luckily because Glorfindel did take damage. And we'll heal Glorfindel a bit there. Very good, we got our Enduring Valor. I think I'm happy playing that immediately first. Okay, now with Yarwolf, I'm probably going to attack one of these guards just as they're in death range, at least. The other one will probably, yep. Attack there. Now, unfortunately, we still have this guy left, so if we... It's risky, but I'm going to block with Glorfindel. That guarantees that he takes damage. And then we can use Aragorn to kill that other guy, and we can still ready him up. Ooh, that's a pain. We might have to kill him instead. Let's have... Another really good thing is to sort of aim to get Tauren out as soon as possible. The reason being is he's a really good guarder. He has a fairly decent amount of health, and he has the block keyword, which is really handy, especially on this early stage. This one's good for the extra resources. This one's good for a bit of healing. This one I've been less impressed by, mainly because of the random word here. If you could choose, you could opt to select Glorfindel, which means that you'd always have a choice in which one of his abilities to use. Because he had stealth, he wouldn't be able to be attacked by just about every enemy, so that'd be really handy. But because it's not a choose one, it's a random character, it's less valuable. Obviously you can randomly get Glorfindel, which is pretty awesome, but it's not that important. And number 9 here is not that valuable right now. So what we'll do is we'll have Arwen fade up now to start building up to Tauren. Okay. We'll ready up Aragorn and yep, we'll attack.
He cannot stand alone.
Okay, good, sounds pass. We'll end the phase. Now, it is very normal for all of our heroes to take a lot of damage early on. Once we start getting the Imladris minstrels out, particularly on the next location, we'll start to sort of even out a little bit with our health, our hero's health. I'm going to fade up there, and that'll guarantee us Tauren now.
Where's the fight?
Yep, and he can block, so no matter which of these two enemies attacks, they will die. Excellent. And now, I don't want to play a card from my hand. Heritable Record Keep is good because it means we start drawing cards more aggressively. But it is also nice to get Imladris Minstrel out. I'm kind of less inclined to do that because we don't know what someone's going to play yet. So I think to be safe, we'll play the Heritable Record Keeper. A little bit easier to kill alive. To keep alive, I should say. Okay, that's pretty good.
He cannot stand alone.
Okay. Now, unfortunately, this will complete pretty soon. So we have to figure out when we want this to complete, whether this location or next location. Hopefully, we can get away with doing it next round, I should say. So let's just fade up with the Record Keeper. We'll do the same with Glorfindel. Right, we can trigger Bold Resolve if we need to. My turn. I'm gonna end the phase here. Fortunately, I've run out of actions to use. Bummer. this event's kind of hard to not trigger. Both of those are pretty good. Unfortunately, because of the increased cost, we cannot play both of them. Let's see. I don't want to play him Nudge's Minstrel because it'll just get killed by that. I think we're going to have Tauren block here just to take the bulk of this hit.
I am your servant.
Okay.
He cannot stand
I'm
alone.
going to kill him. That does complete the objective, but we do get a heal. Okay, so we'll have Arwen take care of that hazard. We're not going to be playing any cards right now, so this, if we do travel, none of these will really matter. But if we want to use that, I think we'll just complete this one, just to be safe. Likely a event card cancel. Let's just fade up here. We'll trigger this. Don't think it really does a lot, but at least we've cleared off one of our fade events, and we'll just travel. We do need to get out of there, so because we really want to avoid the level 35 threat event. It's really nasty to have that trigger. We'll heal Aragorn. Now this is a really interesting location for this particular kind of deck. These cards are normally really annoying because they stop you from attacking the main shadow dudes, but they're really handy fodder for Imladris Minstrels. So we'll get the second Imladris Minstrel out. That's fine, we don't care that that one exhausts. Okay. We will discard one of our Northern Survivors. Now if we use Aragorn to attack one of these guys, we get a double kill. Now for the third shadow, it is good to block with Glorfindel just so we don't take any additional threats. And it's only 1 damage, which is handy. So let's use this guy to now kill him and we'll get another double heal. Put one there. But we do have the Imladris Caregiver, so we can throw out to heal if we need to. Okay, so that's good. We block with Tauren. Because we healed him, he does stay alive, which is very handy. Now we'll ready Aragorn and have him kill that troll. Heal there, and heal there. I like to prioritize Aragorn because he's going to do most of our blocking. Okay, 1 resource. Do I draw some cards? Yeah, I wouldn't mind drawing some cards. Let's first of all fade up with this one. And we'll fade up with Arwen as well, now that Sauron has passed. This is a good one. Let's trigger this off now. Excellent. Yeah, we'll draw some cards with Mithrandir's advice. Bane's Hospitality is very nice. We still need to see 2 of our key pieces for Aragorn's kit. Fortunately, we didn't see that. Let's chuck the healing on Aragorn. Gandalf is a good one. Okay, now we've got a nice full hand of cards, which is very, very, very sweet. Let's have the Erebor Record Keeper take care of one of these shadows. We'll give a healing to Glorfindel, and we'll give a healing to Glorfindel. We will discard... Discard the Handmaiden for now. As far as my ordering for which one of these I like to kill first, generally Belchy's Shadow I like to kill immediately, and then Grunty. Both of these, Grunty you kind of want to get rid of because he really can only be blocked by heroes. Belch you want to get rid of because, you know, he takes away your cards, which are valuable. This guy is less worrisome because, you know, usually he's going to attack into something he's already guarding anyway, so... And if he attacks into Aragorn, doesn't matter because he's still ready, he can still use his ability to ready up. Okay, so if we have... Aragorn, take care of that. Give Aragorn a heal, give Tauren a heal. And then again we'll block with Glorfindel to make sure we don't gain any threat. We'll fade up with one of these minstrels just to force Sauron to make an action. Okay, so that's a good target for Forest Snare. I'd rather not take the 3 damage. Excellent. Okay, so we have 3 resources and plenty of actions to use. If we do this, there's 3 damage per player to every troll, which is pretty good. Get a random attachment with this one, which can be good. Sometimes it whiffs real bad. So I think what I'll do is I'll use the Magus Minstrel just to fade up so we can trigger this off. What do we get? A lit torch. Whatever. Not that lit. Terrible joke. So I think we can start laying on some damage on some of these trolls, these shadows. I'll do that, and then Tauren can attack this guy. Now we can ready Aragorn. Complete that? Yeah, let's do that. Bang, bang, bang. Do I want to play Lit Torch? Otherwise it's a good discard fodder for Belchy. No, let's yeah, I'm gonna discard it. Let's just end the phase there. There are 2 rounds remaining. We'll heal Aragorn. Hey, excellent. Ravenwing Helm 2. Got a range of paws, huh? First action, we'll play that on Aragorn. Now, it doesn't matter for these guys because these guys will... Hang on. That one. Because these guys have ambush, so they'll bypass the block, but next location, they don't have ambush. So that'll really help soften those attacks. And they get a slight boost in attack as well. We'll have Aragorn check out one of these. Heal there, and we'll heal Glorfindel. And again, we'll have Glorfindel block. We'll have this guy check out that shadow, and we'll do heal, heal. We can play Baron's Hospitality to just heal everything too. Bat Swarm, okay. Doesn't matter, so we just block with Tauren. Okay. And we'll heal Tauren, and we'll heal... Who else? Tauren. Hold off on doing that. Now, that's the only thing about this deck is that once you have all your allies out on the board, you kind of don't have much to do out of your hand. So, like all of these are really good cards to play, but I don't really want to replace anyone right now. We still have 13 cards in our deck, so Herbal Record Keeper is still valuable. So I think what I might do is I'll just play the Raven Winghelm on him. Okay, now we can Bayon's Hospitality and we'll heal everyone. Okay, the deck's functioning pretty well right now. So we'll fade up with these guys. Who's getting that? Okay, that's fine. So I'll kill this with R1 and then heal these guys back. Star Wars, okay. We'll give the health to Aragorn. Starbush is very good. That'll allow us to fill up our fate meter if we chuck that on R1. So first things first, let's kill one of these guys. We'll give him healing and we'll give yeah, R1 healing. Bang. So we will discard the Northern Survivor, I think. Let's block with Glorfindel. We're ready up Aragorn, and I reckon for his action we might fade up. Belchy attacks. Now he does get a secondary attack, which means that we may have to block with R1, unfortunately. Otherwise, someone's going to go into the Heavy Cauldron, which I guess isn't too, but let's just see what happens here. We'll just block with Herbal Record Keeper. Okay. Nothing happens. It just disappears. Fair enough. So let's give on the Star Breach. It gives us a space to play the Handmaid and drop our threat.
Clear as the water of my lady's well.
Okay. So we'll fade up with that. With her. 4-2 to every 12. What a bummer. That's okay. We can do this. Fade up there. Okay, we'll have R1 attack the last of the shadows and then we'll heal these two. I can try and kill one of these Belchy shadows just to gain a bit of healing, extra healing I guess. 4 damage to one, let's do it to him.
Take my axe.
Heal and heal. Yeah, I'll fade up there. Okay, and that'll probably make those two disappear. Okay. Now we do get a free round here, I believe. We can spend this time just sort of filling up the fate meter as well as potentially killing this troll. And we got Ranger's Blade, which is very nice. That's our last of the of Aragorn's kit, so he's fully loaded up now. I'm glad we still have Forest Snare. Okay, so let's just take down this. It's nasty. Fill the fate meter. We are going to gain a threat, but that's okay. We're on 31. We're plenty low enough. Heal, and that's it. Okay, so we're fully healed up, which is really nice going into the last location. Let's get on.
Seeming to lose interest, firelight flickers against the silent.
Okay, now this location's more or less the same as the previous one. But they lose, each of these guys lose ambush, and they gain an extra attack value, which is okay because now they don't have ambush. We're still essentially only taking 1 damage per attack with Aragorn, and he's got the Ravenwing Helm as well, so it evens out pretty well. So it's more or less the same kind of round, and we also have a bunch more fate events. This is generally kind of a bit excessive because we have the heavy cauldron, which we can easily take care of with Arwen with her 3 willpower. So that's not really necessary, and we've also got a full board, which generally isn't an issue. This one's nice because it just means we get to draw a card and we gain an extra resource, which can help us for this round play Gandalf if we want. Number 6 is good, just deals some damage to the trolls. This one's only valuable if you're going for the willpower based strategy of completing this objective, which has 3 versions. Every time you complete it, it reduces, it comes back in with 1 less willpower needed to complete it. So you complete it once, it comes back with 7, complete it again, and comes back with 6. And once you complete the 3rd one, you win the quest as well, because essentially the trolls turn into stone, because theme. But I think we're going to go for the strategy of killing the orcs, I guess. I'm not sure. Okay, so first action, what am I gonna do here? I think we might use one of these. This one seems good. Ranger's Blade, not bad. And then if we fade up with her, we can replace her with Gandalf or something if we want. Discarding... I don't even know. I guess we don't really need the caregiver right now. We'll block with Glorfindel to make sure that we don't gain any threat from the end of round. And then we'll attack this guy with Aragorn. Put him back on block, and then he won't get any value. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, why not? We'll just do that, and we'll replace.
This is the first time that even a mouse has crept along
okay,
to
that's
my
a lot
very
of
nose and not
resources,
been
which is
spotted.
alright. And then we'll fade up with one of these to force Sauron to make an action. Not too much of an issue. So we'll have Alwyn complete that straight away. Why not? Okay, we're gonna be Hazard running out.
For Rivendell!
So what do y'all think of Glorfindel? I got a comment on previous video from Hopeful Student who asked what I thought about the hero, because there was a lot of kerfuffle about him being a bit overpowered, but recently on a dev stream Tim said that while he's a very popular hero, he's not exactly been in the most successful of devs. And that stat didn't surprise me very much, and I guess that sort of reveals my hand on what I think about him. I never thought Glorfindel was very OP to begin with, and I'll try and explain why as I'm playing through this as well. But a lot of people were saying that, and it's a very fair enough statement, that previously, of course I'm talking about Glorfindel before he's had this recent change, but a lot of the point of contention was that he allows players to completely ignore the threat meter, which is true, and that's, for some people that might seem a little bit OP, but I don't actually agree that he ever was. And part of the reason why is I don't think he's a very versatile hero, and part of the reason why I say that is, well, his ability was balanced as it was by, you know, making sure he didn't have to take any damage. But on top of that, having only 2 willpower makes him not a great quester. Only 2 attack makes him just an okay attacker. And if you want to sort of go the route of protecting him, then that alone sort of, I don't know, balances out, I guess. So I was fine with the way he was. I know that's probably not very clear. I might even make a separate video, a brief video talking about him, but yeah, I didn't mind him how he was originally. That's the TLDR of it. And I saw a really interesting comment on one of the Steam forum discussions that's going on right now about the difficulty. I think it was Ertzi who spoke about the fact that he really liked Glorfindel because he, as a gamer, he hates timing mechanisms, and the threat meter is kind of a timing mechanism. So that allowed him to play the game in a way that he much more enjoyed. And just while I might play Gandalf now, and I
am a servant of
will.
the secret fire.
2 damage to. Honestly, you don't need to worry about threat right now. 3 damage seems fine. And then if we chuck Starbridge on him, this is really excessive, by the way. Bang.
Back to the shadow.
Bang.
Back to the shadow.
Okay, we'll do that, and then that kills him. Okay, we're doing really well. This is going really swimmingly. So yeah, back on the topic of Glorfindel. He's now been, since I was asked to sort of offer my opinion on Glorfindel, part of the reason why I don't think he's that OP is, what does threat reduction really do? I kind of liken it to life gain in Magic the Gathering, and for those who don't know, life gain is, the objective in Magic the Gathering is to defeat your opponent generally one of 2 ways, reducing their life total to 0, or making them concede out of pure demoralization, essentially. And life gain in that game, basically, it just delays, you know, dying, but it's not a win condition in and of its own. Now, I know there are certain cards that allow life gain to have its own win cons, but generally speaking, it's not a win condition in and of its own. I've kind of felt the same way about the threat meter. Having threat reduction is really nice. It doesn't really win you the game, but it doesn't hurt. So to me, threat reduction, you know, it's powerful, but it's not essential to winning the game. That's why I kind of wasn't surprised by Tim's statements about about Glorfindel not necessarily being in the most successful of decks. Oh wow, that kind of surprised me. Okay, that's fine. Don't even care. I better stop ranting on about Glorfindel now. He was fine, and now I kind of don't really like him as much. I find him more annoying. He's more restrictive now because you kind of have to run him with lore if you want to get that threat reduction bonus. But I think it remains to be seen. It's too soon to really tell. We have to block with one of these because we don't want to kill Bert just yet. That's why he has after attacking this enemy. Ah, okay. It all makes sense now. Yeah, see right here. Get back on there. Okay, what do we do? Let's just do that. We're doing this to try and maximize our score.
I serve no man.
Taste my axe.
Yep, ready you. You.
For Rivendell!
You. Yep, and then defeat it for the win! Yay! Not before we heal, I guess. And again! Yay! Okay, I think that was a pretty good run. There we go. Yep, perfect. On challenge mode. So there you have it. We did it. We did it on challenge mode. Now that deck is certainly not optimal. It's very reliant on getting good cards in the opening hand and getting that chain, that Aragorn train going. Choo-choo. But yep, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about Glorfindel in the bottom, like whether or not you thought he needed to be nerfed originally, whether or not you like the new buff or nerf or whatever you want to say. Do you think he needs to be changed back? I might make another video talking about him specifically. This was kind of a bit rambly, wasn't very cohesive, so but yeah, it was mainly because of Hopeful Student's comment, and I want to really thank him for that. Please guys, if anyone's watching this these videos and you want to hear my thoughts on any card, just let me know in the comments. Also, let me know if you have been able to defeat this quest on challenge mode. What deck did you use? What heroes? Did you use this deck, and did you find it terrible or okay-ish? I believe the word is perfectly adequate. Yes, I only make things perfectly adequate. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!